Question of the day. Why is it that black people are the only race of people on the earth that is pressured, bullied, even suggested into respecting other races? Other races don't have respect for black folks, and they can openly do it systematically. They can keep their own shows for their own people. They can hire their own people to work with them. They can have clans that's been existing for over 100 years. No. And not be penalized. But the minute that somebody that's black doesn't have any reason to like another race, then it becomes a problem. It's not a law to like another race. It's not a law to like another individual. It's none of that. So we want to talk about preferences all day, but when it comes to black people, there is none of that. They're forced to like their enemy. After all these years of all the wrongdoing that's happened to black people, we're still required to like these people. When we have a 100% justifiable historical reason to not like anybody but our own kind. The minute that black folks get together virtually, or you know, just I guess community wise, we get together and we're just for each other. Just, you know, a regular nation gathering together, doing their own thing. Here comes a slew of people saying, oh well, they shouldn't have that, they shouldn't do that. Wow, that you call us racist, but you're demonstrating racism right there. First of all, let's get into that thing of racism. Racism is a whole system. A system of oppression that a particular group of people benefit from. There's nothing black people can do or say, to think, to even listen, to even nothing. There's nothing that black people can buy. There's no way that they can die. There's no way that they can live. There's no way that they can breathe to oppress another group of people. So to even say that somebody is, to say that black people benefit from racism doesn't make any sense, because black people don't get no benefits no matter where they go as a nation. You always see that black people get the bottom of everything. They don't even get to get represented properly in anything. So that doesn't make any sense. Now, to say someone is racist, that means you love your own race of people. Asians love their own race of people. Whites love their own race of people. Indians, every race of people stick with their own. And that's fine. Just like birds, they stick with their own. Plants, they stick with their own. That's just how life works. God's designed things to have its own place, its own race, its own breed, its own everything. He makes things in species. But it's something about black people. They have to mix in with every other race, every other nation. They have to blend in. They can't stand out like every other race and every other nation. So we're forced to do and be with people that we don't like and that clearly don't like us. So we're screwed if we do, and we're screwed if we don't. So to say that black people are racist, that's not a bad thing. You should love your own people. You know, white people do it all day. Asians do it all day. It's the way things are supposed to be. It's good with separation. You can separate and still respect other folks. There's nothing wrong with that. You guys are the same people who believe in cross-contamination and separating poultry from your fruits and vegetables. Y'all believe in separation with that. Y'all believe in separation when you have family parties and all that stuff. You're only inviting a select number of people. No, you need to have an open invitation. Invite the whole entire earth to your thing. There's no privacy. There's no selectiveness. There's none of that. Y'all believe in separation of state and religion and all that extra stuff. Y'all believe in separation of nation. Rome is not going to rule here in Slamerica or United Snakes, whatever you want to call it. They're not going to rule over here because, again, you guys believe in separation. Separation's always good, except when it comes to black folks. Y'all want to separate black communities from your communities. Y'all don't want black people in uppity, nice areas with you guys. You're going to make sure that we're separated and put into those other areas. So we're not going to have it. We should not have it as black folks. That should be me, my household, and the rest of the black community, because separation is holy. Segregation was actually a good thing, because when black folks were on their own, liking their own people, supporting their own people as a community, we were thriving. And then here comes the bombs. You got United Snakes military literally bombing our communities. Now they want to say that separation is not a good thing, and liking your own people is not a good thing. So we're gonna again pressure you guys into liking us, supporting us, all of that stuff. That was just their way of getting you know, good black dollars back into their community, because these other nations can't survive when we like ourselves and support ourselves. So we're forced into some arbitration and arbitrary rule, some societal rule, some weird code of conduct that's floating around in the air and in the spiritual realm, where we're pressured into not being for ourselves, by ourselves. So I don't understand it, but just as a note, to be prejudiced, you can have a preconceived notion or a bias based off of personal experience and not based off of anything factual. Now, other races, they can be all three: racist, prejudiced, and benefit from racism and have a system of racism. Black people will still be in the right if they are racist, loving their own, and being prejudiced based off of their own experience. Other races cannot. They can be all three. You're not gonna have it happen to me. I'm not gonna be lapping up and trying to whitewash myself and to feel some type of way to make other people who make me uncomfortable comfortable. No, you're gonna be uncomfortable while I'm uncomfortable. That's just how it's gonna be. And everybody's different. If you don't like how one person is, that they don't like you and all that other stuff, move on. Go somewhere else. I'm talking about for those folks, you know, coming into spaces that's already established and they're trying to change stuff up and say, well, you should like other people. No, you should like that I don't like other people. I thought we were here for individuality, but now it's not a thing. So I respect that other races don't like black folks. I mean, how could you you know, like us when we're everything that you cannot be? That's crazy right there, because in order for you to like us, you have to hate yourself, because you're gonna recognize that you're inferior by nature, spiritually, all of that. Because at the end of the day, we're a chosen people. But whether I say it or not, it's still gonna be a fact, because you say it. There's something about us that's special, so much that you obsess over, you worship, and you just want to mimic, you want to copy, you want to become, you want to list it on paper that you're black. You got the Rachel Dolazols and all these other people, Tatiana, just all these things that you guys say to bully us out of, I shouldn't even say to bully, to oppress us out of loving our own. You go right back into trying to blend in with us, to become us, to get us to like you. Like, that's some sneak stuff. You're like, well, black folks don't like us, so how about we become them? Again, that's another way that you guys are tactically trying to say, like us. And because you identify as black with some makeup, some fake hair, and some injections, you try to become us. And we're automatically supposed to accept you. Now you're going to get the benefits that we don't even get. I mean, we don't even get benefits within our own community. We don't even get benefits systematically. Just everything's against us. But that never happens with the other races, ever. The other races legally can have a clan. They can have a select only entry qualification. They can have they don't have none of that. Yeah, I understand that there's so-called affirmative action, but affirmative action can look like something else on the surface. You can get somebody who's charcoal black but not actually spiritually black. Just because you have a particular skin tone doesn't make you black. Not all skin folk is kinfolk. You can get somebody who's super black but their father's white, literally. So, like how I'm saying, there's no law that says I have to make peace with my oppressor. I'm not supposed to seek peace from my oppressor, and that's a biblical principle. I'm supposed to give respect to whom respect is due. You're not going to come up here and mark all of my peace, my ancestors, my everything, and expect me to like you. We're the only people that has to go through that. Other people are just still sitting comfortable doing what they're doing, and that is world news. So screw that. There's a couple of people who's been made examples of that, for speaking truth on that, but they renege on what they said, even though what they said is truth. There's a thing called anti-Semitism, but we are the true people of Shem. You can't be black and get a benefit from anti-Semitism, because they've wrote the code themselves, and they really believe that they're people to be respected. They're not a chosen people. We are. So the fact that they made that up, but you never hear that being used for the benefit of so-called black people, that again is a tactical response to black people recognizing who they are systematically, spiritually, and financially, every other way. They recognize who they are, and then here comes a group of people who are biblically irrelevant, only relevant for destruction and to be destroyed. That's it. There's nothing special about them. So they make up this thing, and again, they bully black people into saying that you're anti-Semitic, but in actuality, we're Semitic and they're anti-Semitic. Should be Shemitic, but anyway, it doesn't make any sense, and I wish that more black people would just say it how it is, because a lot of black people are scared to say that they don't like their oppressor. They want to go hug and you know, have sex with their oppressor and make more oppressors exist on this earth when they're already struggling, having fertility problems. Just help their race out. They love killing everything. Help them die out naturally. Let them continue to believe in natural selection and survival of the fittest. Let's watch and see how that works when we separate. Black people wouldn't be oppressed if they were to do what's right. Their race would dwindle down on their own. Not because I said anything, not because I can do anything. I just, you know, I'm just existing. So, just, it's supposed to be the other way around, but we see that it's turned this way because black people don't do what's right. So we're bullied into hating our oppressors. If we were to do what's right, and again, that goes back to keeping the commandments. As much as you want to listen to the white man, and the white man says this, and the African man who's definitely not your relatives. They're not your kinfolk. Some of them are, but some of them aren't. Say this, or whatever other nationality of people say whatever, you're going to listen to them first before you listen to any black biblical fact and black biblical principle. You're not even going to listen to black people telling you to separate for your health, wealth, safety, for your existence of your being. You're not going to hear it from them, but if a white man says it, you're going to do it. But the white man and other races are not going to say that, because they need you to a certain degree. They're going to say separate and go into the slum, but they're not going to say separate and stop working for me, separate and stop shopping for me. There's only selectiveness to it, and the place where it's not selective is the worst, because it's worse than bullying. It's oppression. I understand that black people have favor and they can do certain things to a certain degree. Yes, we have people, biblically speaking, that has worked with their oppressor and they've had favor. But I'm talking about as a nation, we're bullied into hating our oppressor. I mean, you can hate somebody and still work with them and get stuff done. There's functional righteous hatred, and I believe that black people got that down packed. They got a righteous hatred because they have every reason to hate their oppressor, but they're afraid to say that they're upset and that they hate somebody who clearly hates them. There's nothing wrong with that. That's like if somebody kills you, you should have the right to kill them if you get a second chance at life and they're still living. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So y'all shouldn't believe in court systems and no death penalty, none of that, if y'all don't believe in a righteous hatred, because you have to hate somebody to give them the death penalty. You have to hate them enough to seek justice from that person. So yeah, it's just, it's too much. It's too much in this world. This ain't a happy place. This is hell for us and heaven for them. So again, I know that a lot of black folks have a bitterness, a resentment, a realization that they hate us, and they're upset about it, but they're afraid to act it out, to even say it, because they think that they're going to get hurt. You're already hurt anyway. You're already wounded. You're already dead, spiritually and physically. So you're worried about saying something and being a people pleaser and respecting people who don't really care what you say. Whether you hate them or not, they're going to be like, well, you're going to sleep with me anyway. Your black men are going to be over here sleeping with my white women and my Asian, Indian, whatever other race. They know that black folk will come back to them, but for some reason they want all of us collectively to like them. They're going to get uncomfortable if one of us step out of that line and say we don't like them. Not even saying that we hate them, that we just don't like them, maybe because their butts are flat and their hair is limp and their ears are too big, just whatever the case may be, or that they make more money than us, whatever the case may be. They're gonna pin that on all of us as black people, and they're gonna try to find a way to make some kind of law to pressure us into that, liking them. So black folks, I'm very, very sure that we all have a hatred for them, and we're waiting for that day for the race riots, and they're waiting for it too, and they want it to happen because they keep pushing and pushing and pushing, airing it on the news. That's all that you see on the news. You never hear about black folks shooting up cops, shooting up white neighborhoods, shooting up white schools, shooting up anything of any other race that's predominant in whatever part of the world. You don't hear about none of that, because black people are going to operate off of the Spirit of God, whether the Spirit of God saying that we're going to be in darkness or that we're going to be in light. At the end of the day, it's going to happen that black people collectively are going to have a spirit that's put on them to hate these other nations collectively, openly, spiritually, but whatever the case may be, all around perfected hatred to rise up against these people. And there's going to be a lot of destruction, but right now black folks are too scared to even admit that they have a righteous hatred, because their cousin got shot and murdered, their cousin got robbed, their cousin got systematically oppressed, their kids got taken away from them and got fostered into a race of people that is not their own people. So those children are going to be culturally removed from the black culture and oppressed, molested and raped, all kind of stuff. Even the adoption is rigged, where we have to be bullied into liking another race of people so much that we have to be conforming to the the people who are adopting us, their culture. They don't place our kids within the black community. They rig the system where whites can adopt us, Asians can adopt us. You rarely hear about black people adopting black children. Not that black people can't relate to black people or that they don't want to adopt. Their system is rigged. So everything just has to go back to them and glorify them. There's nothing rigged for where they are forced to like us. Affirmative action doesn't mean they have to like us. Hell, they can pay us less. There's nothing systematically that says that they have to like us. They can shoot us dead for all that they care. They won't care what we have to say or how we feel or what we're gonna do. They're still gonna benefit from it, but it's not the other way for black people. Oh, I mean, you should already see and know from, the days of BET being successful, having black girls magic. They'll be like, well, how would black people feel if we had a white power and white people magic? You already have that. But here we go again. Black woman getting a feminine hygiene product in Target store shelves. And here comes white people complaining to the Consumer Affairs Agency about black people having a product just because a woman said that she can represent and uplift the black community. Shoot, white dollars and white people are getting uplifted too. Shoot, if they're buying the product and putting it on their shelves, they're gonna get a paycheck. I don't understand these people of these other nations, and I'm not here to be on earth to understand. I'm only here on this earth to understand my people. And that's it. And my people is a reflection of God, and God is a reflection of my people. So it's too much. I'm over this. I'm sick of this. If you're one of those, I'm sick of you. If you're one of those black folks that are afraid to say what it is and to call it out, and to make other people comfortable, I'm so sick of you too. Because that passive way actually gets black folks killed. Gets black people in the wrong predicament. Same thing with black people speaking up. Oh hell, we gonna get murked on every single side. But like how I said, whether you're going to say it out loud, you're gonna know that's the fact. You know it's a fact, undisputable. So I'm just making a video. That's it. I mean, you're just watching. You're just listening. It don't have to go nowhere. But one day, them tables will turn and it will go somewhere. Not because I said anything, but because the Most High God of Israel said so. Said it's gonna go somewhere. So, if you don't like what you hear, don't act retarded and lame. Click on out. Nobody asked you to be here. Nobody told you to be here. It's not a law to be here. And if it don't apply, let it fly. That's always going to be the motto. You believe in rights and all that extra stuff, so exercise it. Go somewhere else. I don't make videos for everybody. Everybody's not going to receive everything. That's not how things work in reality. Shoot, y'all ignore God all day, so don't act like I'm the God of force. If somebody says something about the Bible, shoot, you turn both ears and transform it on your head, put it somewhere else. So I'm staying in my own lane. You should have known when you saw a black face on the channel with the name Black Daddy. Mind your own. Go somewhere else. There's predominantly white folks speaking and representing white people and white agenda. Go over there. Same thing with the other nationalities. If you're black, go ahead, keep doing what you're doing. Let's see how far that'll get you. Saying whatever you're saying and doing whatever you're doing. But for me and my household, we're not doing that. I cannot like a lot of people, and I can know how to get along. That's with anybody. A lot of people are forced to work and do and live and be in predicaments that they don't want to be in. It is what it is. That's how it is in this world. But it's not always going to be that way. So, you guys will be bullied into liking us so much that you're going to bow down before our feet and say that we were worthless people then and we are now. And boy was I wrong. Black people are the best thing ever. Black people are my life. That day will come. Okay?